Here outside the batting cage, you just got done with some hands-on instruction and his legendary Hall of Fame manager from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda. Tommy, thank you so much for the time, first of all. And secondly, how does it feel to be back here in Ogden, where you once managed in the late 60s?
This is where I started, right here in Ogden, Utah. That was the beginning of many, many years of being the manager. And I come back here with great memories, and I had some of the greatest players that ever played the game play for me here.
You were a pitcher during your playing days. You got your managerial start here. What was it about managing here that was maybe a sign to you that that was what you were meant to do?
Well, I think what managing is getting the most out of your players. You have to be able to get them to be motivated, to play the best they can play for the name on the front of your shirt and not for the name on the back of your shirt. And once you get them to do that, then you're going to have some good players.
There's a slogan, the Dodgers way, that's something been trumpeted throughout the organization for decades upon decades now. What does that slogan mean to you?
Well, it means everything. It's been my life. I'm 62 years right now in the Dodger organization. And I always felt that it was the greatest organization in baseball. And now we're in bankruptcy. Yeah, the Dodgers, years ago, when Al Campanis ran the Dodgers, everybody wanted to pattern themselves after the Dodgers. But it isn't like that anymore. And we're going to have to get that back. We're going to have to play. We're going to have to get good players. We're going to have to get good instructors. And we're going to have to be able to bring in a lot of fans to the ballpark like they used to do. We used to draw 3.8 million, 4 million. And now it's really a tough time right now.
A few exciting young players, Tommy, that I had the pleasure to work with during my time with the Great Lakes Loons that have been promoted to the parent club, and I want to get your thoughts on each of these three. D. Gordon, the shortstop, who has spent some time there, Jerry Sands, an outfielder, and the guy that's kind of taken the reins on the closer's role, Javi Guerra. Three very promising young players.
Well, all three of them are going to be very successful. D. Gordon's going to be the shortstop one day and play every day and utilize his speed, gets on the base. That's what he can do. His fielding is beautiful. And Sands, once he gets to learn to control that bat, he's going to be. I predict, and I don't usually predict because gypsies predict, but I predict that one day Sands is going to hit 25, 30 home runs in the major leagues. He's got the strength, he's got the ability, and once he puts it all together, then you're going to see an outstanding player in the major leagues. And, well, what's the pitcher's name is
Javi Guerra?
Javi Guerra. He's got ice water in his veins. He comes in and under tough situations, and he's been very, very successful. So he's something that we really needed on our ball club, and he's doing one outstanding job.
Tommy Lasorda joining us. And finally, Tommy, a peer of yours, and I know a very close friend, somebody that I grew up following. He has ties to the organization here in Billings with the Cincinnati-Reds and, of course, the Detroit Tigers. The loss of Sparky-Anderson, how big of a blow was that to Major League Baseball?
Terrible, terrible. Losing Sparky, we lost one of the great managers, the great guys. He was just an all-around wonderful, great man. And to lose him was really a sad, sad situation.
Any thoughts on a memory of Sparky that stands out to you?
Well, we were teammates for about 4 years. So we had some real good times together. And then when I became the manager, I called him. I said, "Hey, Sparky, our friendship ends now. I cannot beat you and be your friend." So he didn't like it, so I had to tell him that.
Well, Tommy Lasorda, as always, so appreciative of your time. You mean so much to the game of baseball yourself. Surely a thrill for me to talk to you here today. Best of luck with the Dodgers going forward.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. Thank you.
And I take that to heart. Tommy Lasorda. We'll be back with more after this on the Mustangs Radio Network.